Many communities in Edo State have been vulnerable to soil erosion and degradation over the years due to natural and man-made causes, and a few of them indeed degenerated to humanitarian and environmental catastrophe. By last counts, there are about 108 gully erosion sites in Edo State, some of which are the Queen Ede and Ekenwa sites, both in Benin City, the Oshobuge Gully Erosion Site in Auchi, Ibore Gully Erosion Site, Ambrose Ali University Ekboma Gully Erosion Site, Ewu Gully Erosion Site, and Emu Gully Erosion Site. Interestingly, a number of them have attracted the interest and intervention of the World Bank through the federal and Edo State governments. Several appeals to the federal government earlier had yielded no satisfactory result until the state government was considered along with 6 other states by the Federal Ministry of Finance in the implementation of the Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project (NEWMAP). The project is being coordinated in the implementing states by the Federal Ministry of Environment. The World Bank is financing the nationwide project with $500 million in addition to blended grants of $3.96 million from the Global Environment Facility and another $4.63 million from the Special Climate Change Fund, approved by the World Bank Board on May 8, 2012. By the World Bank's intervention, therefore, succor came to the Queen Ede, Ekenwa and Oshobuge Auchi Gully erosion communities when on February 6, 2015, NEWMAP was launched in the state and reclamation works on the 3 sites flagged off simultaneously in Benin City and Auchi.
Flagged off.
The Queen Ede Gully site was largely blamed on a construction design error made on the Benin-Abo Expressway, which abruptly terminated drains from the constructed highway into the affected lands. It was over 25 meters deep and spanned the Ikboba Hill and Ogbeson communities. It was particularly problematic as previous attempts to reclaim it failed woefully. On its part, the over 40 meters deep Oshobuge flood and gully erosion site in Auchi was very menacing, gory and life-threatening. It occupied a large area of land stretching from Warake Road to Auchi-Igara Road, and its cause was said to be the flood waters draining from the sloppy terrain to Ole River. Several areas of the town had been devastated by the gully erosion over these years, leading inevitably to the abandonment of ancestral homes. The Ekenwa Gully site was no less disturbing as it had dislocated livelihoods in the community. Many homes, roads and farmlands had been ravaged. The Ibore Gully erosion sites and several others in the state have been quite life-threatening and devastating. The critical situations nonetheless, the Edo State government rose to the challenge, the starting point of which was the execution of the first phase of the Benin City Stormwater Project, while also taking advantage of the federal government-led NEWMAP. Under NEWMAP intervention scheme, the Oshobuge Plain Gully erosion site in Auchi, the Queen Ede School and Ekenwa Gully erosion sites, both in Benin City, were identified as the most critical of the gully erosion sites in Edo State and so were slated for the first phase of intervention. With a world-class design and supervision engineering firm, Oricon, and tested civil engineering construction firms, The remediation works at Oshobuge Auchi and Queen Ede Gully erosion sites commenced effectively in February 2015. Construction work had commenced at Ekenwa Gully site earlier in 2014. The remediation works carried out at the 3 sites involved the use of rigid structure, flexible structure, and bioengineering, that is, the construction of concrete structures, gabions, rhinomaters, and planting of vegetation and trees, all in compliance with the World Bank environmental and social safeguards policies. It is on record that as a result of the huge volume of work already executed by NEWMAP, a total of 277.6 hectares of land has so far been reclaimed in the 3 pilot gully sites of Oshobuge Auchi, Queen Ede, and Ekenwa, besides 45.3 hectares of bioremediation. Also, 7.3 kilometers of roads have been asphalted and 19 kilometers of concrete drains constructed at the 3 sites. The Edo State government on its part has paid 1.6 billion naira so far as counterpart fund for the project, while also disbursing 638,444,300 naira 50 kobo to project affected persons as compensation and grievance payment. A major component of the NEWMAP program is the restoration of livelihoods and economic activities of victims of the devastating gully erosion. In furtherance of this objective, 33 community interest groups (CIGs) were registered, wherein members engaged in poultry, fish farming, hair styling and fashion, auto welding, horticulture, and information communication technology. A whopping 56,918,000 naira has been spent on these CIGs and community associations operations. In all, over 1,053 households are currently benefiting from livelihood enhancement activities across all project sites in the state. NEWMAP, in conjunction with International Center for Energy, Environment and Development, is also piloting low-fuel and energy-efficient clean cook stove in the 7 mover states, including Edo. This model provides easy and cost-efficient method to simultaneously improve maternal and child health, protect the environment, and contribute to social and economic benefits for communities. These measures have been of enormous benefit to the communities in all the sites, many of which have continued to shower praises on the state government. The parish priest of the Gully-threatened St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Church, Ogbeson, Reverend Father Richard Oferi, confirmed that he went as far as meeting with some top officials of the federal government at Abuja in a desperate attempt to move the hands of the federal government and save lives and property at the Queen Ede Gully erosion site.
There was a time that erosion, where heavily fell, a man with a motorcycle was carried by the water. Did you see the man again? The man died. And then on my right hand side, there were some companies there. I think Oyegu had a company in that place. Everything was in. Then one Urubu man was living somewhere there too, the house gone. Then there's foam factory here, the foam factory part of it, although a part is still there now, with the work that this company has done. high-tech has done. That's why you can see the building standing there now. Otherwise, everything was falling into the pit.
Professor Adu Ogegbai, the Enoge of Ugbeson himself, did not relent. So was the Otaru of Auchi, Alhaji Haliru Momo, never hid his frustration over the Auchi flood problems. The Edo State government has used every opportunity to reiterate its commitment to the implementation of NEWMAP project development objectives across the 3 senatorial districts of the state through prompt payment of counterpart fund and full support to the project. Engineer John Adisa is the state project coordinator of Edo State NEWMAP.
One of the major factors that have been responsible for the success of NEWMAP in Edo State is the avowed commitment of the former governor and even now the new governor to the success of the Nigerian Erosion Watershed Management Project, especially the issue of payment of counterpart funds as I went through.
Not a few residents in the affected communities in Benin City and Auchi have also praised the Edo State government for saving them from the GULLY erosion catastrophe.
So when this project came, they said NEWMAP, they said it was like a dream. I wasn't thinking that it's going to be true. But to God be the glory. Today we have these things and the erosion has been controlled. We are benefiting from it. My house has been safe now.
We were thinking that it was going to be a child play, but today it's a reality. We have seen that from what you are seeing now, life is returning to this area gradually.
So I'm very happy for this project where they give us, and we still thank federal government with our complete governor where we work, where we NEWMAP with this bank, World Bank, called this road. Where me appreciate, and I still pray Almighty Allah make it still better pass.
The residents living around the Queen Ede GULLY erosion site, which has been virtually reclaimed as of date, say the Edo State government's intervention is like a miracle and profusely commended NEWMAP for a job well done.
That time actually, they tried a lot because it was not like before. Unlike when I newly come to the moat was very big, but you can see now we are even passing on top of the moat. So they try a lot. So World Bank and NEWMAP, all of them they try a lot. So more grease to the elbow.
We are indeed very grateful to the government for this project because we never expected that there is any government that will come and rescue us from the mess that used to be here.
Even various teams, which have on several occasions inspected the reclamation works of the GULLY erosion site, have acknowledged the success story of NEWMAP in Edo State. The task team leader of NEWMAP at the World Bank office in Nigeria, Dr. Amos Abu, says the project is one of the finest engineering designs.
The success story is there for everyone to see. We are particularly happy because this has been a game changer and it has been able to restore hope, restore livelihood, and also we are able to also dispel all sorts of superstitions about man-made spirits that people thought were responsible for this hitherto seemingly intractable problem of GULLY erosion in the state.
The National Project Coordinator of NEWMAP, Alhaji Dahiru Salisu, also gives an assessment of the project implementation.
In all the project sites that we are intervening, 21 in number at the moment that we have ongoing works, the average performance in terms of job completion is almost about 90%. And the communities are in so much happiness, state of happiness, and rejoicing with NEWMAP and the project generally in helping to bring succor to the affected communities, not only in saving lives and property, but also improving their livelihoods that have been lost as a result of this massive land degradation that has happened in those communities.
During his official visits to Edo State at the twilight of the Adams Oshomole administration, President Muhammadu Buhari paid an inspection visit to the Queen Eda Gully erosion site. Indeed, he saw and acknowledged excellent engineering designs and construction works at their best. The Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project NEWMAP is clearly a success story in Edo State.